What is up, super coaches? It is your super coach sister, aka Ebony, here with the no one asked for team reveal. So I have finally actually put together my 2026 team. Of course, like for most of us playing super coach this year, this is in draft form as we continue to wait what preseason has in store for us, who's going to lock in some opportunities on the rosters at their clubs. But just a quick note, if you are brand new to this channel, a lot of our content has been geared towards people who are starting out. We have the ultimate beginner's guide to NRL Supercoach. And if this happens to be your first year of playing Supercoach, then may I also recommend the other video about team selection, which is our big do's and don'ts of how to set up a team. These are more general guides on just what to look out for, as opposed to maybe specific insights into which players to place where. Today, I'm just going through who I've put into what positions so far and why. And, you can go ahead and laugh if you want. This is only my second year, but I'm loving it and enjoying it, and I hope you are too. But let's go have a look at the long-awaited, nobody asked for, 2026 team reveal for Supercoach Sister. All right, well, here we are. So, as per usual, we're going to start from the top of the list. Now, of course, full disclaimer, as would be the case with anybody pre-selecting a team at this stage, there's so many things to wait and see for in the preseason. But kicking off, hooker role. If you did watch my previous video on overall team setup, you'll know I'm not that keen on spending too much money or wasting too much mental energy on hookers just because of it usually being a little bit meh. So instead of going, I guess, one classic gun, so to speak, I've opted to go two mid-rangers. And I guess the good news is Reid Marnie is probably going to score 80 minutes per game up at the Cowboys. Fresh start for him up there after a so-so year with the Doggies where he lost his primary spot. So I think he's certainly underpriced. We're going to get good value there out of Reid Marnie, and not to mention the Cowboys have a pretty good draw to kick off the season. Second mid-ranger here, Simpkin over at Manly again. Likely to get pretty good minutes and a pretty good price for someone who should pump out things not too bad. Very tempting, of course, to consider a couple of the premium options, but probably just going to wait and see how the season kicks off and see whether either of these guys do generate some good cash, so we might be able to upgrade to somebody else. So moving on to our front row forwards, one of the big questions for most of us, I guess, is are we willing to shell out for Payne Haas? Truth is, I am. And as you can see, even just drafting him in as an ideal captaincy option to start the season, yeah, I think I can't go past him. The other question for me was really, do I put alongside him another slightly more expensive front row forward? Terrell May did good things for me in 2025, so it was tempting to pop him in at number 2, but of course quite the price increase from Keon. And not to mention the Tigers have the bye round 1, so it's a bit tricky to lock him in from the get-go. And then two, semi-cheapies, high-end cheapies in Calhoun and Paseka. I like that Calhoun at the moment as well has dual, so that's pretty nifty. And again, I think with the gap that Cam McInnes leaves behind at the Sharks, that Jesse will probably get some pretty good opportunities there, which is great. Second row, I would say I feel pretty similarly about in terms of investing, similarly to hooker. So this is a massive work in progress. No doubt Fafita is probably going to be the highest owned second rower. Such a good price for such a gun, and I'm very excited to see what he can do over at the Rabbitohs under Bennett. Now, Jake Preston, I don't know, to me, this could go to any number of that higher price range people. Obviously, Tino's an amazing option here. And I do think the Titans will turn a corner this year with some new leadership, but this will be a wait and see in terms of shelling out for a higher end or premium 2RF. Watch this space. Mooney, what an incredible opportunity to get, again, another jewel, but at this price. And so while he certainly didn't get as much opportunity over at Canberra, it's hard to get a look in when Canberra are so stacked in the forwards. But when he did get a go, boy, did he shine. Round 3, up against Manly, scored 89, only on field for 43 minutes. Later in the season, of course, when things were certainly fading out, scored a 78 against the Dolphins with only 55 minutes. So I'm very excited to see what he can do with more minutes. Likely that he'll take up one of the spots that KPP has left vacant at the Knights, which is great. Hamish Stewart, again, I think with Clemmer heading off, then there's more opportunity for some forwards over at the Dragons. And again, pretty decent price for someone who might produce some good minutes and good points. Lasardi, similar in terms of taking up an opportunity in someone's absence. We all know that Eli Katoa is out for 26, which is very sad, but Lasardi or Chen will be the one to likely take up that right edge, and I am very excited if it is Lasardi because that is excellent value right there. Cooper Bye, so a big shout out to the Whisperer who kind of waved the red flag about Cooper in front of me. Very unaware up until that, and loved what I saw in the highlights of his round 27 game last year. First set on field in his debut, and massive hit up to get momentum early in the set, and then finish the set in the right place at the right time, going over for a try. So where some people might put a nuff in this final 2RF role, I love the opportunity to pop in a cheapie there that, coming off the bench, but could certainly at least start to slowly generate some points and some cash. Now, the halfback conversation of this preseason is, of course, how many people are going to run the double cheapie format here. Now, Ethan Sanders, this is obviously, in my eyes, dependent on whether he's guaranteed the 7 jersey, and along with that, likely guaranteed the kicking role. And so if that's the case, 246 for a 80-minute starting 7 goal-kicking halfback, yes, please. Daniel Atkinson, again, another great opportunity to claim the 7 jersey. It's been very, Flanagan's been very vocal that he'll take his spot there. So great to have a cheapie in there on the bench. Of course, will I stick with the double cheapie role? Well, we'll have a conversation about flexing in a minute to see what that will look like. Now, 5'8", I think I feel similarly about this with 2RF and Hooker. I think Pezzett is probably going to be, well, certainly the recent revelation from all the crew at NRL SuperCoach is that Pezzett is the highest owned player so far. It makes a lot of sense. For me, I have a soft spot for AJ, but I really liked, actually, I can't remember who pointed it out, that if I'm willing to shell out for AJ, only another, 30k more to get Munster, and an incredible draw as Melbourne do not have a bye up until Origin. So it's a pretty good run to be able to just have Munster there. Again, would I always play a reserve in 5'8"? Not sure. Centre wings, having a little bit of fun here, to be honest. I've chopped and changed centre wings probably more than any other spot. The big omission, as most people will see, is Herbie. I am desperate to have Herbie in my squad, but I think for the cost we're paying at the moment at $8.25, just not quite ready to shell it out. Hoping that we'll make a little bit of cash here and be able to upgrade him possibly after their, I think, round 5 or round 6 bye. But still happy to put in another couple of guns. Kira's, fair to say, I think behind Herbie, probably the most wanted CTW for SuperCoach purposes. And then Val, for me, this is all, I just have a big heart for Val. I think he's going to have a great season, and you give me a goal-kicking CTW, I'll take it. Let's go. A lot of contention from Latrell to get centre wing only at this stage, and there's been lots of talk of where is he going to play, where is he training at in the preseason, but 626, pretty good. I'm okay to just wait and see with Trell and have him there starting. He can be ups and downs, work rate low, pull out a couple of blinders. Who knows? He's a frustrating man, but still an exciting one to watch. Taylor May obviously had a great end to the 2025 season. To be fair, in this spot here again, in a similar vein to not choosing May, his brother, up in front row forward, they do have round one bye. So I like the possibility that we could replace May for a very, very similar price with good old Brian To'o, and wouldn't be a bad shout at all, I think. Now, 25 certainly wasn't his strongest SuperCoach year, but I think we're ready to see a little bit of a resurge, hopefully, of Bizza. On the bench here, you'll see this is almost being a bit cheeky because it is a more wait and see which of these new cheapies get a go starting on the wing for St. George. So far Flanagan has indicated that perhaps David Valle is slightly ahead of Setutu, but this will be a wait and see. If I find out for sure that 2 is not going to be starting in the wing, at baseline cheapie, not too bad to just wait and see if he gets any opportunities, but happy as well with a final cheapie in Macassini over at the Tigers. Now, down to the fun parts. I have not been shy in saying that I am stoked to have Kinney back for a full season after his incredible recovery in 25. And this is an incredible price for a talented player. So I'm very happy to lock and load him as my FB1. Now, to pair him on the bench, obviously Falongo getting the opportunity to fulfill Paps's role is great, and this is a good price, but I'm also waiting to see and hear what is happening with Trey Fuller over at the Dolphins, if he's going to secure the number 1 jersey over there, because they are very similarly priced, and I'd probably like Fuller as maybe a little bit more of a pod. So watch and see. As you can see, I'm not playing any, premium fullbacks, you could say. Ponga broke my heart last year, so I'm a bit scared of him. Lots of people are happy to pop Turbo in for now, and of course Drinky is very popular given that Cowboys have an excellent draw to kick off. But yeah, still tossing up this idea in here. We'll have to wait and see, but I'm not yet ready to shell out for Reece Walsh or Teddy. I'm just hoping that maybe 1 or 2 of these mid-price boys generate a bit of cash and upgrade, say round 6 or 7. So last but least, I mentioned that the conversation is around playing 2 cheapie halfbacks. But in my mind, if I'm happy to put a non-cheapie halfback that I think is going to offer value at the moment in my flex role, then I think it's not a bad go. Mitch Moses hasn't always stood out in terms of SuperCoach scoring prowess, but I guess with everything that's gone on with Lomax, Moses will claim the kicking tee back, and so we could expect that his point average certainly to increase as we start this season. This, for me, flex, I would be happy to maybe shell out for a gun, pop up to Nathan Cleary, though again, the Panthers draw is a bit rough. Maybe even look at one of those more pricey fullbacks to play a 3 fullback role. Not sure, but this is my team so far, and yeah, I'm pretty excited to see the way the rest of preseason rolls out. If you have any players in here that you think are a massive trap or a no-go, drop me a comment, because I'm very keen to make sure that I gear up right for 26. So thanks. Well, guys, there you have it. So please hold the applause, or perhaps hold the absolute sledging that you might want to offer me for who's on the team so far. Of course, as we near closer to the actual kickoff of the NRL season, I will update this video. But I'm keen. Tell me in the comments, who have you already definitely locked in? Who do you totally disagree with from my squad? I'm open to suggestions, as I am still certainly learning. But thanks for joining in. If it's been a fun time for you, go ahead and press like and even subscribe for some of the other content coming up. I'll catch you next time.